All right, it is finally the time you've all been waiting for. You've got your calculators and you get to use them now. So, a huge celebration. Whoa, it's awesome. Alrighty, so here we go. The top of your notes should say 2-7 solving equations. And what I want you to put in next. Let me get a blank screen here, is we have to have our learning target for today. All right, so here's your target. And we're going to start by saying this. I can. And today you are going to solve one-step equations. One-step equations. And the complicated thing here is that with rational numbers. So before rational, make that singular, please, as this is a little messy, numbers. Now, we did some of this in chapter 1. Yes, we did, but we were sticking pretty much with integers, and that means plain old whole numbers. No decimals, no fractions, okay? And that's why you were fighting me a lot on showing work, because so many of you are so quick with your mental math, you can do it in your head. So today, you're going to see why I'm going to make you show your work, but I also give you the tool of the calculator to make sure that you are showing me what you are doing and you understand the process. So let's review a little bit about our rules when you're solving an equation. The first thing you do is find that variable. Could be on the left, could be on the right. Just find it, and that's where you're going to focus your attention because you want to get that thing by itself. You have to get it alone, which means you are going to undo whatever's happening. If we're adding, we need to subtract. If you're multiplying, you need to divide, and so on. And our goal is to get that variable by itself, and then check your answer. That'll be critical today, and it'll be nice because you can use your calculator. Yes, yes, yes. Alrighty, so here we go. Jot this first one down. You have 11/6 equals 1/3 plus p. Alrighty, here's my variable. That's what I want to focus in on at getting alone. So what I need you to do is think, well, right now this 1/3 is positive and I basically want to annihilate it or destroy it. So I need you to show me on both sides that you are subtracting 1/3 p. Because on this side, the right-hand side where my variable is, now you have eliminated it. On this side, well, here's what we need to do. Now you can grab your handy-dandy calculator and go ahead and do some math because we're taking 11/6 and we're going to subtract 1/3. And handy-dandy, your calculator spits out the answer for you at, if it left it as a decimal, it's 1.5. I would also accept the mixed number 1.5 or 3/2. Okay, all of those work. Okay, so however you want to circle it, it's fine. But what I want you to do is perform a check. That means you're going to take what you got for your answer, go back up to the beginning up here, and you're going to say 1/3 plus p. Okay, 1/3 plus p on your calculator. I want you to plug in 1.5. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. And then, depending on what your calculator says, your calculator should either go ahead and say 1 5/6, and then you can convert that into the improper fraction. You might have gotten 11/6 on your display, or you might have gotten a decimal. The decimal looks like this, and if you convert it back into the fraction format, you'll get one of those. It checks. I want you to put a check mark saying that you actually went through that process. All right, that's example number 1. Let's look at this guy. You have 8 2/10 p equals negative 32.8. All right, so the first thing I want you to do is locate your decimal, or your variable, which is right here. Oh, letter P again. Must have been on a P mode that day, like in that variable. So the first thing we're going to do is say, well, I need to undo the 8.2 that's being multiplied. divide. You have to show me on both sides. You absolutely need to show me that these simplify to 1, and now you have the variable by itself. Now you're going to plug this in on your calculator. Hey, don't forget the negative sign. And when you plug this in, you should get exactly -4. You grab your calculator and you come back up to this beginning where it said 8.2 times the variable p, and I want you to take 8.2 times your answer of -4, plug it in, ding, on your calculator you get this, checked. Show me that check mark. Oh, now look at this. It looks like I have a fraction and a decimal in the fraction. Whoa. We have a calculator, so we're good to go. I found my variable. Here it is right here. And what I want to do is get that variable by itself. This really stands for dividing. And so what you're going to do is we are going to multiply both sides by 1 2/10. 1 2/10. And what happens here, remember this is over 1. That makes this giant fraction. These two simplify to just plain 1 and your variables alone. Sweet. 15 times 1 2/10. Grab your handy dandy calculator. 15 times 1 2/10. Bing! I think calculators should make a sound, don't you? That would be kind of cool. All right, I get 18. Does that make sense? I don't know. Let's check it. My original equation started like this. I have to take 18 and divide it by 1 2/10. Plug that in on your calculator. Sure enough, checks out. Oh, let's look at this. Yay! Now, this is interesting. We can look at it a couple of ways. I think today what I want you to just think of is this. 5/6, this is a number. It's being multiplied by x, and that equals this fraction. Now watch the fascinating thing that we can do here. If I have something times x, I just simply want to divide by that particular number. Divide by that particular number. Now, 5/6 divided by 5/6, when you have a fraction in a fraction like this, it's a cool situation called a compound fraction. But since these values are equal to each other, it's 1. Now over here, yeah, that's kind of a crazy thing. Let me just show you by hand what this looks like. This really means 5/8 divided by 5/6. And you know that division is really multiplying by the reciprocal. Boom, you can go to town now. If you're using your calculator, you probably would have just entered all of this in. But 5/8 times 6/5, this will simplify to be exactly 3/4. There's your solution. X is 3/4. Go ahead and check it. Okay, 5/6 times whatever x was, and x is 3/4. If you plug this in, your calculator will tell you 5/8. Yes, we're done. How about one more of these fancy fraction ones here, all right? 7/8 d equals 11/12. All right. Why don't you pause the video right now, do this one on your own, and then once you've got your answer and you've checked it, then turn the video back on and see how you did. I like to do mine by hand because I'm a stubborn old woman. Division is multiplying by the reciprocal. And then when I go to simplify this, I can factor a 4 out of the numerator and denominator, and I get 22/21. All right, now let me extend this screen here. D equals 22/21, or 1 1/21. Now, That is probably some nasty, ugly decimal. I don't even know on your calculator display if you would see that this really is a repeating decimal. That's why I like to leave the fractions as they are. I want you to check this guy. 7/8 times 22 21sts ends up giving me 1 and a 3 and a 4 and an 11. I get 11/12. Hey, crazy. It checked. Nice. Okay, your assignment is in the workbook on page 16. You must show your work on both sides or you will stay here until midnight, all weekend long. I don't know, but you have to show your work. That's the way life is. Good luck, and may the force be with you.